premise of the musical, it's a story about a young man who grows up in the church. And he has this divine inspiration that he's going to grow up and become the pastor of his church. And as he pursues the course of becoming a young minister in the church, there are secrets in the church he begins to discover. And those secrets discourage him and take him off his course. And I'll let you take over from there.
And as a result of that, his personal journey puts him in a position to where he now has to define not just who he is, but what his faith is. As a result of now having the secrets revealed and wrestling with it. But the beautiful part about it all is it's still a story of redemption, of becoming, faith, and it's relatable because, you know, each of us in our lives find ourselves in a position to where we're asking why, you know, why didn't I know? Why didn't someone share it with me or tell me? God, why? And in the end, he is strengthened even the more in his faith because of the journey and some of the pain that he has to experience.
So, who was the principal writer of this play or this musical?
Moi.
You were.
And it was a book first, or it was a drama with music, and it evolved. I picked up the phone in the middle of the pandemic and said, Dr. Spruill, Daniel, I want to turn it into a musical. Would you be interested? And immediately he said yes, and we began that project. And I think the beautiful thing about learning about the difference between a drama with music or a drama and a musical is that the music tells the story. And I think for Daniel, who is a brilliant composer, the music also began to give the story a whole nother life, a dimension. And so there were backstories and other things that we explored in this development that are pretty exciting.
So where did the idea come from?
The idea came, it was an inspiration. I was playing the piano when I was about a freshman, sophomore in college.
Where was college?
College was Howard University in Washington, D.C. And I was waiting for a girlfriend who was upstairs in her dormitory changing, and I was playing on this old raggedy piano, and out of it became these voices that said, they began giving me conversations that are actually in the script now, and also started giving me direction of where the story would go.
And are there any characters that are real in real life? Are maybe similar to someone in real life? All of them.
All of them. You know, it's so funny. I think this is a segue crazy, but our best audiences are school groups.
Really?
And Miss Moore, who is our principal actor, she's a Tony Award winner, et cetera, et cetera. She pulled me aside and she said, you know, and she was a former school teacher. She said, the school groups really respond to this. And I laughed. And she said, you know, you have a special gift for junior high school and high school. Well, for years, that's where I taught, so I guess that's where my humor...
I know you're an engineer by trade, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
segue to where you were talking. You mentioned Miss Moore, Miss Melba Moore, who's a Tony Award-winning actress, singer, everything. She's so good at what she does, Grammy nominee, yes. She's in this musical. And today, by the way, is her birthday. She just got the key to the city, Miss Melba Moore Day.
Yes.
Today is, and she's also getting a walk on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Absolutely.
So, and much deserve it. Long time coming. What was it like working with her? Well, for both of you.
humbling and a great honor. I'll turn it over to Daniel.
I first worked with Miss Moore in 2006 when the musical was a play that had music. And one thing I love about working with Miss Moore is she's the same. She's like a family member. Down to earth, approachable, and there's no pretense with her. The genuineness that she personifies, it's real, it's tangible. She sits in the whole conversation. It's like literally sitting with a family member.
Yeah.
You know, having a conversation. She'll pour into you, and she's very supportive. So I appreciate the fact that this is full circle in that working with her 2006 when this was a play with music, and then now 2022, the same Melba Moore from 2006 is the same Melba Moore in 2022.
Well, the play is it's great. It is just great. Have you guys considered taking this to Broadway?
Yes.
Because the momentum, the feel, the vibrations of it has Broadway written all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when Marshall told me, he was like, this is my vision. I want to get it to Broadway. We're going to make it happen. I'm praying about it. And because I compose from emotions from a character, so once I understand who or what the character is, what their motivation is, then I start developing the character emotionally first within a particular scene, then a particular song. So as I do that, I'm thinking about Black Broadway, and, you know, the different musicals that we had back in the day, such as Mama, I Want to Sing, The Wiz, Pearly Victorious,
Your Arms Too Short.
Your Arm Too Short to Box with God, musicals that
The Wiz
have made it to Broadway, and the Broadway sound. So this is why some of the pieces, even with gospel music in it, you can hear the Broadway undertones in it, so that we're reminded of the journey, because the goal is to get it to Broadway. So as it's touring, we're going to get it prayerfully with the help of God to Broadway.
So where's your next stop?
I'm not answering your question.
Okay.
I'm going on segues.
Okay.
But, I was kind of thinking, one, I am so glad that Dr. Spruill is sitting here with me in this interview, because I can't really describe how I'm feeling right now. And the reason why I can't really describe how I'm feeling right now, we just had a wonderful show. Audience went out singing, dancing. We got the results that we want. And I am constantly reminded by the one who gave me this dream, this vision, this goal, this project, God, that this is all to His glory. And so I'm trying to manage my joy, my excitement, and just be reminded that this is His. And if I'm going to stay the course and finish this assignment, and we recognize that keeps you humble, if we're going to stay the course and finish the assignment, then we have to stay humble.
Yeah.
And without His grace, this cannot roll on. And so, yeah, I'm humbled. I'm excited. I'm glad that you saw it, and I'm glad you're excited about it. And I'm also reminded that Jesus proclaimed His Father's work, not His own.
That's right.
And so I can't proclaim roll on, but I can tell you that it has been a joyous experience. I'm glad God allowed me to be a part of this journey. And I'm so excited when I think about also, when I talked about that piano, it was for me that fiery burning bush experience.
Really?
And so I see myself as Moses, and I was always, and Moses got in trouble for this. I was like, God, I don't have the ability to speak. I need a Aaron. Mm-hmm. And God has blessed me. His brother's named Aaron. If he's in the show, he can sing too.
Wow.
But God has blessed me with this Aaron called Dr. Daniel Spruill. And I'm just humbled and thankful. Not only humble and thankful for him, but we also have another contributing composer who's involved in this project, Dr. Ricky Payton. Read his resume, and that will humble you as well. So we just got some great people. Doctor, he should be, but Mr. Eric Ruffin, our director, He has a Helen Hayes Award. What he's done to this project with his direction is phenomenal. My wife, Margaret Opie, the sacrifices, the services that she has rendered to this. All the folk at the Ark, we love you. Oh my God. I mean, we have a team at the Ark. You know, one of the things I'm very, very serious about, I have a customer service background, and one of the things I was really concerned about is making sure that the ushers represented what I call excellence of service. And I want to say to the ushers, mwah, mwah, mwah! Woo-hoo!
And the cast is just.
I'll let Daniel take over.
The cast is just phenomenal. I had the honor to deal with one of your cast members who happens to be sick, Mrs. Betty Insminger. I don't want to mess up her name.
Member. She's everything.
She is just a representation of how this play has been as far as the cast, because she was very reverent that this is God's work. Mm-hmm. This is not your work. This is not her work. This is God's work. And she gave all the credit to the whole cast. It wasn't about her. It wasn't about anybody in particular. It's an ensemble.
Yes,
and I thought that was so beautiful. And working and dealing with her, it was all about everybody getting a spotlight, dare I say.
Yes.
So.
And you may say.
Yes. So tell me what your feelings are about the cast.
Cast is amazing. Even though we have strong actors, and then we have actors who can sing. Then we have actors who can sing, one's gonna make sure you feel it. But they all work together as one group. And I try to choose my words very carefully, and I think this will be the best way to sum up the cast. Jesus said, he said, I pray to the Father that you all will be one. And then as cast, we begin with prayer. And we're praying that we can all be one with Christ as Christ is one with the Father. And we end with prayer. So we're always reminded that we're no more than instruments for this story, for what God wants to do. So the cast has been beautiful. They've been loving. They learn from each other. They help each other, and they strive, as we do, to be one, so that God can get the glory out of this production. And that's what keeps the egos away. There's no, I have more lines, or I've done this, or this is my first time doing this. And I said this when my school visited, that we also have a cast member who has a disability. And we knew that in the audition. And they are just as important in this process for God to use, just as everyone else who doesn't have a disability. We look at disability as a reason not to, but God uses it as an opportunity to get his word out and to minister. And I'm saying they, so that keep everything, but they're amazing. We inhibit, but God has always given opportunity. So we're one. The cast is one, because we strive to be one with God's purpose, not just with production, but in our daily lives as well.
This is a great example of everything you just said. A great example. This whole production is a great example of everything both you and he has said. And all I can say is, let's go on to Broadway.
Yes.
That's all I can say. Let's head on to Broadway.
That is the goal.
Thank you guys. Thank you for coming to DC and sharing this beautiful musical with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.